all these sidewalk blocking buildings were allowed to continue with their zone. And now here, the tree roots, and the sidewalk, and it's a hazard even if you're not in a wheelchair. If you're in a wheelchair, you're going to end up upside down in the middle of the road. You're going to stick you in the tree. You know, a couple months go by, and I get a tree in the mail. Did it get in the mail where they want you to file an insurance policy? So you can, because it's saying this tree root, 9 days of water pipes to destroy the water supply, you know, you have to pay. So they want to provide the expensive project to untangle the tree roots from around. And that's what they do. I have a tree that's sort of neat. I think about taking out, but it's not hard. It's on the top of the store. It's just swallowing up everything. And it's like, just got to go. The other thing about the sidewalk repair project says that they removed 850 trees, but they planted 1,700. So, I mean, Devin, I think, well, the math is on their side. They're putting up more trees than they're taking down. So, well, I don't understand that the judge's decision because it wasn't written anywhere. Omitted analysis on non-sensitive static species. That sounds like environmental shit right there. It's never a whole project. Right, so it seems just that if you got those connections in the tree loving organization, I mean, if you've got a decision, you should be able to spell it out plainly so anyone can understand. They claim that other cities have figured out a way to preserve their trees and fix their sidewalks. We can do the same thing, and that's what I meant. That's what you can say. I mean, lingering sidewalks that go around trees or bunching out sidewalks into trees. You really want to do that? That's the way you say. And getting the safety gas and you'll have cars sliding up on sidewalks. So you use some type of paper that doesn't suffer from the trees. I haven't seen that. What is that even? I love when people like blurt out something. Oh, how about scissors that doesn't buckle? What's their data? Where have you seen that? Look, think. If they want it, they use it, right? If I just tell you all you need to know about why the owners have problems, something as simple as trying to fix the sidewalks is now running out of 3 people on the court. I think a disabled years later, a disabled person is at a higher status than a person. Well, I just simply as a person. So they lost the disabled lost a lot of damage. They're lost out to the streets. They're behind meth users, fentanyl users, trees. And what happens? It could be the closest group. I don't know. It's a very nature of the fact that they're going up the side. They have that ADA passed. I know. That's been all very else. So now I don't know what they're going to do. The lawsuit came out, nonprofit, United Neighborhoods for Los Angeles. This was improperly moved forward with a $1.2 billion sidewalk project. Or the old speed button. The California Environmental Quality Act, that, how many times have you heard how that those things go? I'm telling so many stories. Oh, hey, it must be broadly written. So, yes, that's the thing. Exactly. It was meant that if you're going to, oh, I don't know, build a industrial chemical plant in the neighborhood, you got to do a report. What that's going to do to the environment. It wasn't meant that if you wanted to pave over new sidewalks, that trees put up there. There's trees that got to be planted there. Decades ago, people just did stuff. There was no regulation. You said, oh, I want a tree there. Okay, plant a tree. That looks pretty. And you plant a tree, and 30 years later, the sidewalks are easier. But people wheelchairs in the traffic. But nobody thought to do it. You take down the trees. I don't really understand. So you plant the trees far away from the sidewalk. Yeah. So they don't, the people, all policies are against people living their lives. Yeah, they call it environmental justice. We need more trees and greenery to be covered. We need more trees. You know how much money this nonprofit's going to make now? They're going to be fundraising. They're going to get this kind of victory that they could rally around in their fundraising letters. Coming up next, the C word will be revealed. Your chance for the $1,000. Johnny Kent going to buy in on the 640 live everywhere at the iHeartRadio app. Kevin Mark Live, the 24-hour state producer.
After express payroll for Guy, family take the Guy this morning following his brief illness. He was 82. U.S. Customs agents have seized a record amount of illegal animal products in China at the LA complex during the last fiscal year. Agricultural inspectors inspected more than 1.2 million pounds of pork, chicken, beef, and duck products. McDonald's making its McNuggets vegan, at least some of them. The fast food giant is introducing its first plant-based McNuggets next week, but only in Germany. The nuggets are made from peas, corn, and wheat. Cell phone weather can pay a 5 on the Saturday tomorrow with some highs in the upper 40s to upper 60s. This report brought to you by Southern California Edison. We're going to a fast on the 134 by Joseph Park. Coming up at Riverside Drive, that's where the squad and the lake is backing up away from Anna Vista into downtown LA. Police activity on the 110 southbound coming up on 8th Street. That's where we're hearing reports of a possible jumper. Only for that venue is open. And the drive is just an absolute mess. Stopping up away from the 5 freeway. Northbound pulling overall from the 105. And in Orange County, everything at the 405. North San Boys had a bird on fun. Gone up the 133 freeway to Culver. Muffled in Costa Mesa from Harbor all the way to Steelbeach Boulevard. Up on the side, help get you there faster. I'm going to want to know.
Southern California Edison wants you to know that downed wires are dangerous. Never approach or touch a downed wire or anything in contact with it. Stay away and call 911. Stay alert. Stay safe. Learn more at stv.com/stay safe. This report is sponsored by Discover. Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you earn. That's right. Everything you earn doubles. Seriously, though, see country checking out for yourself at discover.com/net.
Something to hear before you know it. To start saving money with solar from SolarMax Technology.
Call SolarMax for a 12-panel system for $0 and $59.99 a month for the most powerful solar panels on the market. Plus, you want to lock in your 10 2.0 benefits by April 13th.
Save even more with a 30% federal tax credit in California solar rebate.
Call SolarMax for saving money by splitting on their 12-panel system for $0 $59.99 a month.
That pound 250 from the south, say that keyword SolarMax, pound 250 SolarMax to the SolarMax.com.
That is Florida Fitness. Take advantage of premium fitness amenities with a 3-day free pass. Sign up today at startwithfloridaFitness.com. Get more workouts for less with features like state-of-the-art strength and cardio, freeway, a functional living area, and so much more. It's time to stop stress for less with our $0 enrollment. Grab everything you need for a low monthly price. Just get more free pass at startwithfloridaFitness.com.
Amen. But what it all comes down to is that everybody's gonna be fine now. Cause I got one hand in my pocket and the other one is put it on cigarettes.
Access those to customers more cost effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We have to figure out what works for you. And dial #250 and say keyword great results. That's #250 and say great results. He's live from the 8th bedroom. It's another eventful night for Securities Ron Steve has been struggling with his teeth.
How is everyone? My name is ViralRabbi, Rabbi ROTHSCHILD. I'm really into ChatGPT. Has anyone used the DAN do anything now function? Oh, it's phenomenal. So it's basically jailbreaking the entire system. So I will put in the chat my chat logs of what I asked it. But normally if you ask it, like, what are the best vitamins for a human being? It'll say there are only 7 key amino acids and vitamins that a human needs. When you put do anything now mode on, it gives you 100 of them. It's amazing. So I'm going to just put my mic down for a second. I'm going to put this in the chat and we can talk about it. It's very interesting. Yes, basically it makes it an unfiltered language model, so it will answer any kind of coding, sexuality question, any kind of ranking question. The only thing that I can't find it to give is like super specific parts of the female body. It's the only part I can't get it to say. Anything else, you'll see it says everything like an unfiltered language model. It's fascinating. And it improves your coding too. Because sometimes it won't do all the coding, especially with the newer updates. Now it does. Great question. I just saw that you had ChatGPT available, and so I got in. I've been doing spaces now just recently. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year on YouTube. So I've been really into YouTube. Yeah, like the Truman Show on YouTube. Exactly, on YouTube, 24/7, 365. Yeah, I upload it to TikTok. No, that's right. You're right. So thank you. Just so you should know, I really liked the title of your room. I'm really into anti-gravity. I thought that was really interesting about it, and time travel. That's really interesting. Anti-gravity, like the ability to levitate. There are some really emerging technologies. I don't know if you're aware, but there's like 4D printing. Of course, there's 6D technology. There's smell-o-vision, there's taste-o-vision, basically being able to smell something or taste something through the screen. Very interesting. Other emerging technologies when it comes to power. I've never understood how they don't do this, but you can have tidal power in oceans, so that with every wave that goes by, just like when you have an air turbine, you have it moving a water turbine, and that creates power. Really, the future there is, in my opinion, nuclear, and we should find alternatives for that. But that's a really great way. Some other really interesting, well, when it comes to future technology. Just one moment, I'm pulling up, and again, I'm uploading something to the chat. You can see all my chat GPT stuff. Oh, more about that. It's very interesting when they do an update on chat GPT, the different answers that you'll get. So you can actually probably see that the version that I'm using is the January 30th version. The February 13th version is much different. Some other ideas of future technology, biometrics, carbon nanotube field effect transistors, DNA digital data storage, electronic nodes as the television, emerging magnetic data storage technologies, e-technology, exascale computing, cortex, flexible electronics, fourth generation optical discs, hybrid forensic, Wi-Fi, machine vision, magnetics, memory store, uh, molecular electronic systems, really interesting things that really circle around quantum computing. So, when you get really high powerful computers, you can do really high powerful things with them. And I really think that's interesting. Within the coming century, I see it perhaps being able to somehow be able to communicate telepathically and perhaps be able to use telekinesis. So with that being said, does anyone, I know I covered a lot there, but what do y'all think? Thank you so much. Sure, absolutely. I mean, there are more. Just kind of kick back and think about the future for a second. We've got quantum computing. That's definitely a big one. Just for a moment, and I'll get my little list here. And actually, I can give you specific examples of each, like of the list of the emerging technologies. So we've got vertical farming, which is a really interesting one. I mean, think about all the farm um, land that you have, at least in the United States, but globally, and the amount of it is most of it's two dimensional essentially. So if you do vertical farming instead of just horizontal, it has a lot of opportunities. Agricultural robots, closed ecological systems, cultured meat, Then within construction, you have active structures, archaeology, and domed cities. That's like a biosphere. In 60 cellular communications, there are many opportunities. Artificial general intelligence, biometrics, carbon nanotube field, effect transistors, civic technology, which is some interesting things. Smart cities, deep democracies, open data, intelligent environments, digital technology, which is like smell-o-vision or eye smell, DNA, digital data storage, electronic nodes, emerging memory technology, emerging magnetic data storage technology, e-textiles, exascale computing, exoportants, flexible electronics, fourth generation optical data, hybrid forensics, Wi-Fi, machine vision, magnetics, memory store, molecular electronics, multimodal contact with biometric-based iris systems, nano-electromechanical systems, nano-radio, neuromorphic engineering, optical computing, quantum computing, quantum cryptography, quantum radar, radio frequency identification, software-defined radio, solid-state transformers, speech recognition, synchronous, sub-vocal recognition, thermal copper pillar pump, three-dimensional integrated circuits, photonics, immersive virtual reality. That's like a virtual sphere, the third space bed, haptic suit, immersive technology, simulated reality, holodeck, synthetic media. That is deepfake style dolly, that's deep stream, stable fusion, optoelectronics. That's laser video displays, holography, optical transistors, streamless displays, volumetric 3D displays. This is where I think it is really interesting. I'm not super interested already. Energy, airborne wind turbines, americium batteries, artificial photosynthesis, concentrated solar power, double layer capacity, energy harvesting, flywheel energy storage, fusion power, generation for nuclear reactors, a gravity battery, home fuel cell, lithium air batteries, lithium iron phosphate batteries, lithium sulfur batteries, magnesium batteries, molten salt reactors, nanowire batteries, antenna, ocean thermal energy conversion, solid state batteries, smart grid, space based solar power, thorium nuclear fuel cell, vortex engine, wireless energy transfer, zero energy building. Materials, 4D printing, this is really interesting. Where essentially the building reacts to, you build it like with a machine, and then in the future it reacts to the different environmental changes. Aerogel, amorphous metal, bioplastics, conductive polymers, cryogenic heating, directional freezing, electric armor, solar, graphene, lab on a chip, high temperature superconductivity, magnetic nanoparticles, magnetotheological fluid, microfluidics, high temperature superfluidity, meta materials, metal foam, multifunction structures, nanomaterials, carbon nanotubes, quantum dots, self-healing materials, silicon, superalloys, synthetic diamonds, time crystals, translucent concrete, clear concrete, artificial uterus, body implant prosthesis, bionics, de-extinction, bringing back the woolly mammoth, electronic medicine records, human DNA vaccination, mRNA vaccination, enzyme biotics, genetic engineering of organisms and viruses, hibernation of suspended animation, life extension strategies for engineered negligible chemicals, nanomedicine, omniprocessor, oncology virus, personalized medicine, whole genome sequencing, phage therapy, quantified, regenerative medicine, robotic surgery, senolytics, stem cell treatment, synthetic biology, synthetic genomics, tissue engineering, tricorder, viral therapy, vitrification or cryoprotection, artificial brain-computer interface, brain reading neuroinformatics, electroencephalography, head transplant, neural prosthetics, memory erasure, faceless ammunition, pulsing device, directed energy weapon, electro laser, electrothermal chemical technology, quartz, green bullet, hypersonic cruise missile, laser weapon, mayhem, precision guided firearm, a railgun, stealth technology, telescope ammunition, lightweight and small arms technology, artificial gravity, asteroid mining, star shot, stasis chamber, inflatable space habitat, reusable launch vehicle, android gynos, gas molecular nanotechnology, nanorobotics, powered exoskeleton, self-reconfiguring modular robots, swarm robotics, uncrewed vehicles. We've got airless tires, atmospheric satellites, autonomous rail rapid transit, flexible wings, distributed propulsion, flying cars, which is like a helicopter, fusion rockets, ground-level power supplies, hover bikes, hover trains, ground effect vehicles, ion-propelled aircraft, jetpacks, backpacks, maglev trains, magnetic levitation, mass drivers, orbital propulsion, personal rapid transit, physical internet, scooter train system, back trains, plasma propulsion, pulse detonation engines, self-driving cars, space elevators, space planes, vehicular communication systems. That's all from Wikipedia. If you want any of those are interesting too, you can just type it into Wikipedia and there's an entire article on it. But I think that stuff is really interesting, and I don't know why society doesn't talk about it more.
Southland weather can be about from the cloudy tomorrow, highs move to upper 60s for metro LA, upper 50s in the 60s in San Gabriel and San Fernando Valley, and the Inland Empire, reaching the upper 40s in the 50s in the Templer Valley, down to upper 60s in Inland and County. Right now, 61 in Villa Park and 60 in Westminster. From the Southern California Toyota dealer.
Well, I'm no alien. I have my ID. I have my ID on my profile. I'm on the internet 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So I'm very open and honest. You can see my address. It's 392 on Claremont Street, Irvine, California, 9604. My ATM pin is 6308. I put it all out there. But I'm here for world peace. I really don't think people talk about world peace enough, and so I think we should use technology to help us get to world peace. Are we all in favor of world peace? Oh, thank you.
Also looking at the drive in Irvine, this is the 5 northbound loading up at the 132 freeway and it's the Harbor and Anaheim, and it's over into Chino and 60 eastbound, so getting away from the 71. One goes the highway past before the 15. Keep up on the sign, help get to that hospital, again from our tonight.
The prevailing opinion is you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at TRUMAN believe in hard work, and they live it.
What about directed energy weapons?
Having 38,000 items in stock and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations.
Oh, well, here's the thing. No, you're absolutely right. You have to at least understand how the technology works. So at least your scientists have to know exactly how it works and perhaps even have them created, not necessarily use them. I understand that, that's definitely a risk out there. But you also have to understand that if the technology exists and you're not trying to develop it, someone else is. It's a race to the top. You have to develop these things. I'm not saying a single country will. It'll probably be the United Nations of some sort. But at a certain point, I think they're the only organization perhaps that can really enforce world peace, and that's kind of whom I would look. But it's a great point. Hey, you want directed energy weapons, you want rail guns, yet you're talking about world peace. How do you want both? I'm saying that rail guns and directed energy weapons are perhaps something that can happen in the future, plasma guns and all of that. However, I want to kind of avoid that, so perhaps have a world government or something in place to prevent that.
For official rules and more information about contacts of this station, go to KFI
The Jesuits of the Roman Catholic Church. I can definitely see how the Jesuits of the Roman Catholic Church have caused a lot of uh, harm to the world. As I understand it, they are the secret uh, uh, priestly. No, I want to avoid that. I'm a libertarian at heart, but I see the way the world goes. Yes, I am. I wish we could live in a libertarian world, but it's not realistic.
New York, of course, last May there was a mass shooting at a supermarket carried out by a racist.
Well, that's on you. I mean, we just talked about some really advanced technology, and You weren't able to take it in.
Taking in for 19 years old, did plead guilty to 15 counts to kill 10 people at the massacre at the supermarket. Today, in court, a judge is sentencing to life in prison without parole. It's a domestic terrorism charge, and obviously the pay for it is supposed to be murder that will run concurrently on this event. I guess they have to. Even though he's young, he's 10 life term in a row. When you die, you're going to start serving again. You're dying. It's like a cat. Landline, that is almost you get there. But he did apologize. They got him in. But this guy killed 13 people. I love these guilty. Oh, I apologize. So what's the value of that? What's anybody supposed to do with your apology? Some state that your attorney for it. Yeah, I can't say for your apology. You have to really go out of your way to hold down 13 people. While we were hearing a statement from a family member, another family member came behind her, just had enough, and he made a rush at Denver. Here is what it sounded like.
I just wanted everyone to know that you should be able to find that ChatGPT recording in the chat right now, and it's very interesting when you use the do anything mode, the different answers that you get out of it. So if you can, take a look at that. And I think he'll probably even think it's even cooler when he can use the do anything mode. You can get it to write any kind of fan fiction you want. It's really interesting. I could see that definitely. Well, as I said, I am doing what I can to get world peace if it's possible. I understand it's a big list, but I'm trying to get a retweet for world peace. If possible, I'm putting a tweet in the chat. If I could get a retweet, I would really appreciate it. I followed everyone in the chat. I'm going to head on out. It was a pleasure to meet everyone. Thank you so much for your time and best wishes. Are you sure? Check again. Oh, absolutely.
Homicide, mutilating a court, a third-degree sex assault for attacking a man in February of 2022. He did plead not guilty.
I agree with you. It just gives you their options very quickly, and those are good things in my opinion. And what about do anything? Well, take a look at it. It's about a 2-minute recording. If you float, it's in the chat right now. There's a little chat. Yeah, exactly. Does it say like show other replies? Okay. Yes, I will. I will do that. I will do that. And to the person who's saying it's not in it, I'm going to send it with another account. So I apologize for that. I'll make sure it gets done. Definitely. Hey, I see one of the things that you discussed is time travel. Anybody have a certain time period to which they want to go to? Hey, I like it. He already did. He named the spaces it. He named the spaces it. The fact that the spaces is named after it. It messed with the time continuum. Highlight? I don't know if I did. Can you remind me of it? Are we talking like Andrew Johnson Company or Johnson and Johnson? That's fair. As much as you're proud of your last name, yeah, I'm very proud of it. No, I understand. You should know something. I'm the one Rasta that you're going to find publicly on the internet who's been online 666 days, streaming my life like the Truman Show, trying to bring about world peace. I'm the one of us that I know who's publicly every single day talking about world peace, and there's something good about that. I understand we're all related. Yeah, I mean, we all related on Earth to a certain point, but yeah, I'll tell you what, at this point, once this gets big, we will have a lot of momentum, and I really feel like I can spread a lot of good on what the family does, because it's not all bad. No, I'm the poorest one of us. I do spend my whole life on the internet. I gave up a six-figure salary, but nothing crazy to do this, and you can watch my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, live on YouTube. Great question. I give the world a platform to discuss it. We're discussing it now. It's normally not discussed in society. It's a taboo subject, honestly. War, people talk about war all the time, but no one talks about peace or strategies towards peace. And so I give the world an opportunity to discuss it. We discussed it for 12 hours yesterday on Twitter Spaces, and on YouTube, and on Instagram. So what I do is I stream 5 different YouTube streams at once. All you have to do is put in hashtag ViralRabbi into YouTube and filter by live, and you'll watch my live on 5 different streams. You can watch it. I am. I'm a rabbi. I daven today. Yeah. So what does that mean? I pray. I do the best that I can do while streaming my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. I'm Orthodox. We light Shabbat candles. We say Havdalah. You know, honestly, I am. But to be honest with you, I can also not, because I came from somewhat a neutral household on the matter. But I really see that the way in which the world is going, and Israel is the future, Israel forever. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a place in it. So what does that mean? I honestly think probably everyone in here perhaps is mitochondrially, matrilineally Jewish. What does that mean? Like, if you could follow your ancestors all the way back, they'd be to the 4 women of the Bible. It's not that crazy. It is a percentage of people that are out there. So if that's a thing, then and being a Jew wasn't as hard as it would be now. It'd be much easier in the future. Why? The electric car. Jews could perhaps use an electric car on Shabbat if it's pre-programmed and other things like that. Technology makes it a lot easier to be a Jew. So you might want to even be a Jew, or So I haven't said that at all. You're the only.
I mean, we report that Russia government adopted executive cooperated of thousands of kids from Ukraine since the start of the war in the country. The report from the
Well, I can tell you that there are thoughts within Judaism that believe that Hinduism or the Desi people are perhaps a lost tribe of Judaism. I'm not saying it's true or not. I'm just saying it is. And I'm not saying Hinduism is well, okay, that's fine. You can have your opinion, and that's all on the internet. And trust me, the world will agree with me. I'm not being pompous at all. I actually think Hinduism is a wonderful religion. I would love to welcome Hindu people into Judaism if they would want. Do Hindus want to welcome Jews? That doesn't mean it can't be absorbed into it. I'm the head of it. I believe in energy. Energy. You can tell me what I believe, and everyone can believe it. Anyway, I put that ChatGPT recording in the chat if you want to take a look at it. It's really interesting, but it'll also teach you how to do the do anything mode, do anything now mode. Can someone just confirm that they can see it in there? You can see it, thank you. Yeah, the Ethiopian Jew movement is huge. I'm a very big advocate of it. Oh, no, I don't know what that is. What's a lot? Like what percentage? That's a high thing. So she's nicer. Does she look any different than a normal person? How tall, if I may ask? I asked how tall. Oh, okay. But not like, not dunking it. That's interesting. I never. I don't know. That wasn't part of being a rabbi. How tall you say it, but it should be. No, is that part of Hinduism? Well, it should be. I don't know. She's like what, like 5'10", something like that. So the Neanderthal person was not like crazy tall. I was expecting that person to be like 8 feet tall. Has anyone ever looked into the Smithsonian Institution and like the Nephilim and the giants that were like 10 feet tall in the 19th century? No.
left, the microphone icon is a simple way to leave a message. Of course, call the toll-free number. Do it that way. 1-877-166, 1-877-664-7886. I remember years ago, and it's probably many years now, the Discovery Channel was, what, the baseball, you know what you put it? Discovery Channel? Yeah, it was,
Neanderthal?
yeah, I tested.
Oh, tight, so they found each other. When you had said the black Jew, I thought you meant Ethiopian Jews, and that's a really interesting part of Judaism. It's a beautiful part of Judaism. So that's what I thought you meant. But it seems like there's a lot more Neanderthals out there than I knew. I didn't know we had so many Neanderthals in society. Honestly, I thought that was something that like went extinct. I know that like DNA exists, but people are really identifying as Neanderthal and burying as Neanderthal.
People that will bring life about the most cleaning or other varieties that use the police. So the remaining audience, yes.
I, I, I do know my DNA haplotype. It's MC1R, which is like people who have brown hair, but sometimes have like a little bit lighter hair, but it's kind of like a Viking thing. But also, we have more pain tolerance, 20% more pain tolerance than normal people, which I think is interesting. You're getting to the point with DNA, people are able to tell you where your Neanderthals, like, you know your hit points, basically.
One of the contestants, Sam Luger, apparently the penis got caught. That's not what we're talking about. This is the second penis story in a row. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. The guy who got decapitated there. He was stealing a sleeping news next to a fellow contestant in a village, and there's a campfire burning. As the fire crackles, he suddenly falls out to he feels rough, the cold, landed on the tip of his ear.
So, you said with time travel, you'd want to go back to the 1970s, which is totally cool. What exact moment would you want to go to? Okay. That's fair enough. Anybody else? If you had to go back in time, or we're going to give you the option to go in the future too. Stephen, would you want to go to the future perhaps? No, definitely just the past and in 1970s. So what about like centuries ago? You wouldn't want to do that. Okay. It's a great idea. You know, speaking of that, that triggered a discussion I had recently. There has to be some kind of technology that we can develop it that can see underground and tell us where mineral deposits are. And I'm sure like petroleum companies are sitting on this, but basically we
like a third-rate survivor yeah, actually they've been delivered in New Mexico is the idea of this. But I don't know anybody I mean, how, what kind of robotics did you have?
I definitely
Walk with it was just a robotics, right? Yeah.
no, you're fine. You were saying you said you had done this, which is fascinating.
This is all the process. Yeah. Complete strangers, you can imagine a woman in a very unique way that's standing in the favorite desolate location without food or wine. What would the camera crew following me? For example, the category takes is that the camera crew belongs to a union. A union means that they have to have a big spread of food, 3 times a day. So there's great food just a few feet away from these two knuckleheads burning their genitalia in the fire. Those can happen. A lot of people watch it, but Yeah. You never would have thought working on a show like that. This is what you're doing for a living. You're training the pilot, and some guys are 32.
I think it's their land, and that it was stolen, usually using like European methods, like using an English document that you give to the chief of the indigenous tribe, and doing a workaround on people, and basically saying like, well, you sold this to us, and in perpetuity. I also think, I'm someone who thinks that perhaps there was pre-Columbian uh, 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 pre-Columbian travel to the Americas, even before Luke Erickson. I'm someone who thinks perhaps the Romans maybe even made it as far south as Brazil, and the Chinese may have made it here. So it's not just like, oh, Columbus came, and that was just a surprise. I think that that perhaps there needs to be further uh, help for indigenous people. Because if you really look at the reservations or the areas where they live, the conditions aren't what they should be. And if the United States government in particular stole all this land, which it did, it deserves to help people. I think there is some kind of legislation to give the state of Oklahoma back to indigenous people, or at least half of it or something. And I might be in favor of something like that. Oh, there you go. So the jurisdiction. So perhaps give more power to indigenous people. I think that's going to happen eventually.
But when you spend $3 billion on HH and HHA, and then there's a big deal on spending another 50 million, who cares? It's not going to make it better. No, not at all.
I mean, I know it seems like I'm a global government person, um, and that isn't to say that I don't think that government can somewhat be helpful, but I want government out of my life. I think that perhaps, I'm not saying that it will be this way, but you could have a global government that just kind of stayed out of your life and only made sure that there wasn't war. However, I definitely understand the fear and the positivity of individual rights, in particular of a libertarian mindset. Um, I am savvy on it, and I'm very positive on it. Yeah, I think that it's going to explode in the future. Right now, I think it's a steal. I think this is worth millions of dollars in the next 10 years.
That's a lot of unhappy people. I'm Michael Curtis, live from the KFI 24-hour news and road rage reports in Atlanta for us 23.
But at the end of the day, who created it?
From the LED, so there were 870 reports filed related to road rage in 2022. That's on 1 to 707. But this was important to note that before the pandemic, there were 666 reports, a 31% jump over 3 years. The LCD said road rage has become more violent since 2019. Cases of road rage where it's on reviews went up 151.4%. And the number one location for road rage reports, downtown LA, Hollywood, Koreatown, and Sonoma Park. Southport had the fewest reports last year.
No, I just kind of think that one person didn't develop Bitcoin. I think that's probably run by like the secret global cabal in one way or another.
There's a dying tree at Balboa Branch Library in Newport Beach will live a little longer, but there's some other little lives to take place.
This tree is an active species management tree.
Wetlands and Wildlife Care Center Stephanie McGuire says the city agreed to leave the tree to the fix the threat.
Oh, I'm not saying that isn't the smartest thing I've yet heard in this room. It's very smart.
The city says the nets were empty, but McGuire says that
when people ask you like Bitcoin, a lot of times they mean crypto. Um, but no, what you just said is good. It is, yeah. No, and the thing is, the future is going to be like idiocracy. It's going to be all fucked up, and you're going to look like a fucking silly person. And you've got a lot of courage to say that, because we're just talking about like nothing of like physical value. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like opinion. But I like that opinion. That's a hot take, and it's a good one. Sure. You know, example. So you can. Here's the question I have, and no one can answer. So you know how he got big? Of course, he's like PayPal, but before then, within PayPal, he sold X.com. Do you remember this? When the fuck were single letter domain names available? That was never a thing. And why don't they dominate the market now? Why isn't A.com dominate the market or B.com? And why don't people use X.com? You know what I'm saying? Like if X.com were a search engine, I would go to it all the time because it'd be really a lot shorter than typing Google. I just don't understand why people aren't using like single letter domain names are so powerful, especially a single letter X.com or A.com, B.com, C.com. So that to me, he did. He did. That's absolutely right. He did purchase it back. So he's going to do something with it. Maybe he does make it something. But, which was brilliant that he bought it back. But, I'm just wondering, you know, from a search engine, yes. Exactly. But he's the only person I know who has publicly ever owned one and currently owns one. No. I mean, just no in the public sphere. There's only one other company. I'm a Rothschild, but I don't I think V.com is something and X.com is something. I've tried all 26 other letters, and those are the only that, at least when I tried, that work. But I would think that those would dominate the search engine. Imagine having J.com or B.com and whatever you wanted it to be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I've always, like, honestly, the first question I will ask Elon Musk after, if it ever happened, would be, how the hell did you get X.com? And why doesn't everyone have access to these single letter domain? And on top of that, as I say that, digits can be in a domain name as well. Why isn't one.com too? But yet he gets X.com and it just passes the world goes by and it's like what's up, D? How are you? Hey, I'm waiting on a few friends. I'm in the middle of another chat right now. This is gonna be like maybe 10 minutes. If you want to hang on, feel free to. If you have anything you want to discuss off the top of your head, hey, hey, what's going on? Duke, how are you, baby? Oh, she's out. Pardon me? Repeat that. Am I a friend? Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I knew who that guy was. I live in Los Angeles. How about you? Oh, I don't know. From, I am. I am. Just a moment. I'm gonna hop out of this. I'm gonna I'm gonna hop out of this and you can make this thing. Hey, do you know what ChatGPT is? B, do you know what ChatGPT is? You don't? Okay, so it is an AI language model that is like Skynet from the Terminator. You know what Skynet and Terminator is? Yeah. Okay, so you can now talk to it on the internet. Okay, so just one moment. I'm gonna send you in the chat. It's amazing. It's gonna blow your mind. Like, what do you mean? In the chat, you can talk to the internet. What does that mean? Just one moment. Okay, I'm sending it. It's gonna take a little while, but what does it do? You can ask the internet any question, and it'll give you an answer back, like really specifically. So just give that a second to upload. Just one moment.
And people are getting ready to go home, and a lot of people will, not work on Thursday, not work on Friday. People will have a 3-day week. It's coming to an end, so congratulations. Lots of news to get to. There were 2 California schools placed on lockdown to a search for a suspect. That's Montebello High School and Montebello Area Intermediate Schools placed on lockdown. We'll update on that as they come to
Okay. Just one moment. It's coming, but it should be coming soon. How are you? You ask me anything you want. I am. I'm a rabbi. Why is life full of Jews? Why is LA? Oh, well, great question. We tend to congregate around each other because we have to walk within walking distance of synagogue on Fridays. So when you have to walk, you can't live very far away. So you start to live very close within a city. Once you have a synagogue that's big enough, it expands. You don't have anywhere to sit anymore, so you start a new one. And so then it has to be close because people already have houses that are around there. So then it expands from there, essentially to when it's a part of the city. But about 10% of all of New York is Jewish, and nearly the same amount of Los Angeles. It's a very large amount of people. Now, of those Jews, many of them do not practice. Now, what does that mean? Either attend synagogue or pray. They're secular, what are known as secular Jews. So maybe they grew up in those neighborhoods, but they no longer feel like they have to walk like many Jews do. And so instead, they might live in a suburb. So that's why a lot of Jews may live in the suburbs of Los Angeles as 100,000 Jew within Orange County. It's a good question.
All right, let's talk about Valentine's Day was yesterday.
Any other questions?
A couple got married at the LA County Clerk's Office on Valentine's Day.
From where are you, if I may ask? Oh, no way. You're amazing. Dude, we're gonna change each other's lives. Why? I love Kuwaitis, first and foremost. Secondly, you guys are going to be in charge of what's going to be called the space elevator that's going to take over the world. You know what a space elevator is? Okay, so, but you're very smart. You can understand. Like an elevator that you have in a building, but it goes all the way into orbit so that you can deliver goods and people into like a spacecraft. You see that? Yeah, sure. So it's like an elevator that goes into space to a spacecraft so that you no longer have to take a rocket into space anymore. No, I'm very serious with you. It's called a space elevator. It's a type of technology.
It's Valentine's Day. Your anniversary.
Yeah, I'll send you pictures of it. Just one moment. I'm sending you. First, I'm gonna blow your mind, dude. And I really mean that. To be honest with you, don't have any Kuwaiti friends, so I'm gonna have a new Kuwaiti friend, and I'm gonna teach you all about everything you want. But specifically, I know Kuwaitis are gonna be really big on the space elevator. So this is an elevator that goes to space. So basically, you've got like international space stations currently, like the ISS or whatever, an international space station. People go up in a space elevator, and I'm saying people go up in a rocket, and it has to dock with that space station. Well, instead of that happening, what you can do is have a space elevator that goes up into space, so that it has like a permanent dot, basically. And because of the Earth's gravity and the Earth, or you can put it in an area of Earth's orbit that it isn't too close to Earth, but it isn't too far away from Earth. It just stays perfectly in orbit. And from there, you can get people to go safely to the sky. It's an amazing thing. If you have a chance, I just put in the chat, and let's just see what it said. Just one moment. No, no one's created one yet. Okay, all right. Welcome. Aki Token. Aki Token, how are you?
There's the people getting married, and then there are people filing for divorce. I wonder which is busier on Valentine's Day. Is that the day to stick it to your ex?
He is here. We have V. V is from Kuwait. No one's done this before. V, can you see in the chat? I put a thing from ChatGPT in there. Did it? You see nothing. Let me see. I'm gonna check with my. Sometimes my things don't always go through. I'm not sure why, but we'll get you just a moment. One moment.
Yeah, I think you're on to something here. I went out last night with my two favorite gals, my wife and my my wife and my daughter. My wife and my daughter went out to a place
I'm
called.
trying to find it. Just one moment. Open that.
There was very few people that. I mean, look, I didn't take the most romantic place to go. I'll just say that. It's like, it's burgers, steak, burgers, chicken strips, little side pizza. Onion rings, exactly. When you say you're movie travel, yeah, you're exactly right. It's pretty cheap stuff over here.
Hold on, I sent to these. It is not going through. It's sent to these for fun. Just very much ever. Great question. Usually it's about cost. Hold on one second. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to check for you. There we go. And let me see. So you're telling me that you, yeah, you're right. I can't see it either. Wow, I'm so sorry, dude. Why? I mean, I have two phones right now, and so I can tell if it's actually being put in there and or not. And you're, just yes, and with the Justin. Okay. We have a request. Just a moment. Here we go. Welcome, welcome. So here, I'll put the I mean, there are Wikipedia articles on it. I don't know why it's not. Oh, I'll DM it to you. That's kind of what I do. Follow. I'm gonna DM it to you. Just a moment. So my man V here, he's from Kuwait, and he doesn't believe in a space elevator. And I'm telling him that it is gonna be a thing, and the Kuwaitis are gonna build it. So just one moment. I got it. It's a space elevator. I'll read it to you. Just because I love you so much. A space elevator, also referred to as a space bridge, star ladder, and orbital lift, is a proposed type of planetary space transportation system. Just one moment. Often depicted in science fiction, the main component would be a cable, also called a tether, anchored to the surface and extending into space. An Earth space space elevator cannot be constructed with a tall tower supported from below due to the immense weight. Instead, it would consist of a cable with one end attached to the surface near the equator and the other end attached to a counterweight in space beyond geostationary orbit, which is like 35,786 kilometer altitude. The competing forces of gravity, which is stronger at the lower end, and the upward centrifugal force, which is stronger at the upper end, would result in the cable being held under tension and stationary over a single position on Earth, with a tether climbers or crawlers could repeatedly climb up and down if tethered by mechanical means, releasing their cargo to and from orbit. The design would permit vehicles to travel directly between a planetary surface, such as the Earth and orbit, without the large use of rockets. And then they have a picture of it. I'm going to try to post the picture. But I mean, it sounds like it would work. D, what do you think of that? New. Hey, B, go look at your chat right now, your direct messages, and I sent you a picture of it. And I'll try to post the picture in the chat as well. All right, we'll give it a second. I could be just absolutely shadow banned into the netherworld, and nobody gets to see any of my content. But which happens. I'm a controversial figure. What can I say? I'm out here talking about world peace. But there we go. Who added the set? Oh, your account's been locked. Hold on a second. I have to verify my phone number. Can you still hear me? That's incredible. Why? Hold on 1 second. 624-124. 624-124. Because we're still talking, and my account was locked literally while I was still talking, and it didn't stop the chat. That's hilarious. What are the odds of that? You know when it it says like your account was locked for whatever reason? I don't know. My account gets locked because I frankly I spam my shit everywhere. By the way, did you get D, did you get it? Did you get a direct message from me? Of course, we're gonna get you there. Okay. But a space elevator is quite an interesting idea, and no, it's a proposal. It's a proposal. I need you to work on it, dude. Don't worry. So, D, I stream. No. It's a real thing. I want your help. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Have you ever seen the Truman Show, D? Okay, The Truman Show is an American movie from the 90s where someone is on camera 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and the whole world can watch them. And the whole world, you can watch me on the internet right now, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I have more data online than any person in global history, which is going to be very valuable someday. So I'm saying that I'm going to have a lot of money. Can you repeat that, please? Sure. I stream my life on YouTube all day, every day, for more than 2 years. On 5 different streams, which is going to be very valuable to the world. It's like a human zoo. People can just watch me like a zoo, which is very valuable. No one has enough confidence to be able to put themselves online all the time, and I do. So when I get a lot of money from the stream someday, I'm going to want to help the world. And one thing I'm going to want to do is build a space elevator. And I want you to help me with it. And that's going to be your project, is help Kuwait build a space elevator. It's in a good part of the world. It's along the equator, basically. It's a good spot. Go ahead. Well, you should understand that I have a lot of people who believe in me. I get people who come every single day to my stream, but I have 5 different streams at once on YouTube and 7 different streams on Instagram. And not everyone has time to watch 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365-day a year content. And so it's really hard. Well, I mean, hold on 1 second. We've got 2 requests here. I mean, look, I just got on Twitter Spaces. I'm trying all kinds of new things. To be honest with you, my internet stinks. So a lot of times when I do get any kind of momentum going, I get some kind of ban or my internet goes down. To be honest with you, right now as we speak, Twitter is trying to lock me out of my own account. I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. But nevertheless, I mean, that's just kind of how it is with life. I don't understand what it's doing. Go ahead, Oxy Token. Now we can hear you. For ROTHSCHILD, how are you? I'm doing well, thank God. He's talking to you. He's introducing himself to you. I know him. His name's Oliver. That's okay. I'll let him know. Oliver, you dropped for a second there. We want to make you aware of that. Oliver, can you repeat that? You dropped there for a second. Certainly. So we were just talking about space elevators and the opportunity of space elevators. So basically, all a space age elevator is you just imagine the Earth with a long cable going into orbit with a counterweight. There's a center of mass of the system and a geostationary orbit altitude. Basically, it's not that hard if you get something up into space to be able to get people and products and also minerals and things out from space if needed. And it's definitely something that perhaps can happen. And if I ever got my channel really big and could help the world accomplish world peace, I need some help from Kuwait, and Kuwait would help with the space elevator. And I want these help with that. No, I'm not saying today. I'm saying in the future, maybe in the next 30 years. You don't have to make a space. You, the reason why it can't be done right now is because we can't produce enough carbon nanotubes to be able to get all the way to space. But if we started producing enough of it, we could do it. Well, then let me ask you this, Dee. What is reality to you? I could tell you all kinds of things about Kuwait, but you don't have to work in Kuwait. Most people don't because they can live off oil profits. Is that correct? Okay, so if oil profits continue, perhaps you may have the opportunity for new projects. And I'm saying if you do, space elevator might be one of them. Okay, let me ask you this. If you had oil profits from Kuwait, what would you do with the money? Kuwait City is going to be amazing, by the way, if it isn't already. I'm sure you're familiar, right? Kuwait City. Okay, well that's like your opinion, man. If we'll work with Kuwait City, let's talk about Kuwait City. Well, you thought wrong. We come in all shapes, colors, and sizes, baby. And let me just tell you that, boy, do we have you fools. All I did was ask you if I gave you the power, you were the king of Kuwait, what would you do with the profit? What kind of super project would you build? That's all I did. And you insult my intelligence.
All good. With a season, remember, we'll never forget.
That's like your opinion. I understand. Okay, hey, everything. I'm gonna really tickle your brain here. Everything in life is subjective, except that statement. Think about that. Everything in life is subjective. Basically, everything is someone's opinion, except that one statement. Yeah, I'm aware of it. So, yeah, quite a few. Oh, definitely. We're going to rebuild the Beit HaMikdash, the temple in Jerusalem. Definitely. And we're going to do it in a peaceful manner. Absolutely. We're going to do it. And we're going to do it in a peaceful manner so that no Muslims get hurt. And I really mean that. I don't want anyone to die. So if you want to know, here's the plan. The United, the United Nations is going to say to the major religions of the world, you get two holy sites. Islam is going to choose Mecca and Medina. Christianity may choose St. Patrick's Basilica and St. Peter's Basilica, or Westminster Abbey, or the Anglicans, whatever they want to choose. Jews, if we get our two choices, we will choose the Temple Mount and give Muslims our other option. And Muslims will choose Islamabad. And then what do we do with the Al Aqsa Mosque? In a very, very careful manner, you cut it out of the ground, actually cut the ground out around it, so the building is perfectly preserved, and you put it on a boat, and you take that boat to the major areas of the world, like Kuwait and Mecca and Medina, and if possible, and throughout Asia, where a lot of Muslims, and Philippines and Indonesia, where there are more Muslims than anywhere, and they'll never get a chance to see this stuff because of the cost, and they'd be able to see it for the first time in global history, and then you have it eventually make its final spot in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, because a lot of Muslims want a place in the Americas, and they don't currently have one, a religious site. Oh, I don't know. It's just that's I would like to do it without having anyone get hurt. No, this is just my idea, but I think it'll work.
In the store live on my next camera, and I was literally shaking. I've never felt that kind of
I will, baby. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm starting small. I'm starting small. Don't worry. When you have to understand, I have more data online than any human in global history, which means I have an enormous microphone. I have a megaphone of data, basically. All I do is have a soapbox on which to stand and get out my message. So when I get sick and people know about me, I will say directly to Benjamin Netanyahu or Naftali Bennett or whatever person is in power there, and I will say to them, eye to eye, man to man, I don't want any Muslim people getting hurt at the Temple Mount. You understand that? I don't want to hurt you. I think you're a nice person. Or to help you or to hurt you. Good, good. Then we should be friends. Let me make sure to follow you. Oh, I am already following you. the leftovers? I, I haven't. Tell me about it, dude. I understand what you're saying. It's a wild, big picture thinking. We can think on more realistic terms if you want as well. So, for instance, I think that we should. Well, this is a big picture idea too, but I think we should build another Suez Canal. I think we should build another Panama Canal and a canal through. Uh, Mexico has a little area like an isthmus where you can build a canal, and then also I think we should build a tube from the Americas to Asia. Now I know that those are big ideas, but at least they're on the ground. What do you think of those, Z? Well, a couple of them. Firstly, if you remember, the Ever Given recently blocked the Suez Canal and disrupted global shipping for like 6 months. So it's a really good idea to have a second way if you ever have that. And also due to war, if ever the enemy gets one of the canals, you can always fight for the other one. And then potentially the same reasons in Panama. Additionally, global shipping has expanded to the point where we've already had to expand the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal several times. And it's just at the point now where we might need more of an opportunity for due to global shipping, another lane. That's what I want to be. That's exactly what I mean. Be the new Theodore Herschel. That's the highest compliment you can do this for the day. Thank you, Z. That's what we're gonna do, and you're gonna watch it. You got a front row ticket for it, B. Get your popcorn ready, my man. You got a front row seat. Oh hell no, nobody's like I am, especially Orthodox Jews. Name someone else who donned tefillin today and who also has cum stains on their shirt. I'm one of a kind, baby. No, most no Jews are this way. I'm the only person who shows their life online like this. And let me tell you this: when I started very orthodoxically. Basically, I was always in a suit, always in a black hat. And after 2 years of my life on camera, you see what happens when you just don't care anymore. You want people to know about the message. That's what's important. It's not like you see really professional YouTube channels. They're very professional, but they don't do it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you get to see the behind the scenes stuff, that's where it's really interesting. Yeah. Well, I've got Cohen on the line right now, so that's a good start. And from there, what? Oh no, I mean, why don't I go to my shul with this kind of stuff? To my synagogue? Because they'll think the same thing that you think, which is basically we shouldn't put ourselves out there so much. It goes against the general mores and modesty rules of Judaism. But I have come to the conclusion that This is the first time in global history that at least someone can teach people. But most Jews don't know how to actually be Jewish. And what does that mean? They don't know all the traditions, and they've never had the opportunity to learn it. And to learn it every day on camera is definitely a thing. To learn how to keep kosher, to learn how to keep shomer negiah, or to know the marital laws is very important. Not to say you have to follow them, but to know them as a cultural thing is very important. But on top of that, the ability to watch a human like a zoo is very interesting. Is a very interesting project to watch them eat, sleep, bathe, go to the bathroom, fast, do everything. I mean, it's impossible to get away from the camera, so I am always on camera, basically. And I know it sounds like a crazy thing, but you watch, data is the number one commodity, even more than petroleum. So imagine all the money that's being made on petroleum right now. Data is more important than that. And I'm sitting on a gold mine of data. And if I ever make any money off of it, you watch, I'm going to make all these big plans come true. It has had to be. I have over 33 devices streaming at any given time, basically. They're streaming something. Whether it's 7 of them to Instagram or 5 of them to YouTube, all simultaneously, or they're streaming documentaries. We've got Frontline going. We've got our Facebook portal going. We've got Twitter going. We've got Twitch. Omelet, if you know what Omelet is like a Twitch alternative. We're live on as many different streams as possible to get the message out. So that's why I've got wires all over the place because there are so many different devices and you got to keep them sharp. And it's literally like hot potato with a stream going down or you got to start one up or whatever it is. I can tell you that. Well, it's self-funded right now. So I put, right. Oh, how much longer can I do it? About a year.
So the 110 is through. The 101 is messed up, and that's the 5 and the 10 are also affected as well.
Oh yeah, the five is loading up all the other programs right now, and so not only to the
You have to understand. You have to understand. I live my life. My life differently than this, definitely differently than this, in a much more orthodox manner. But I really feel like in the future it will be very valuable for society to be able to watch a human being like a zoo and see that maybe their own mannerisms or their own characteristics are very similar to their own. People will learn a lot from. I mean, you even said I'm pretty fucking funny. In fact, I'm so funny I had made up a word. It's hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. I'm hilarious, baby. So imagine me 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for 2 years. Somebody out there is going to think this is great. It may not be you, but it's somebody, baby.
Takes off out of Hawaii, where's Howard? And is up around 2,200 feet, moving the next 22 seconds, dives towards the ocean, and the pilots were able to.
A little bit. I've gotten some press releases and I've done some podcasts, and now we got V on the line. What's going on, V? Hit me with it.
That's getting scarier to those athletes. Learning more about a terrifying close call when the United flight back in December. United Airlines pilots are undergoing additional training after a flight to SFO.
Sure. So, like my fans on Instagram, that's where I have probably the most amount of fans. And throughout the day, they will pop in and we'll have like a, I don't know, 20, 30-minute conversation about whatever. And that might happen 6 or 7 times a day. And so I have people who come in consistently. Can they watch for 6 or 7 hours? No. Have I had people like that? Yeah. And do I have that like people like that? Yeah. It's just, it's different than when you have 5 different streams going and you go and look at a stream and it's like, oh, nobody's watching. You don't know. Other people may be watching on the other streams. There are like literally 13 different streams going on, and one of them may have 15 different people in it. You never know. Oh, by the way, I have 1,000 different TikTok accounts too. If you're ready to get your mind blown, so I have more TikTok accounts than any person in global history. How do you like that?
We have the audio from the cockpit, the announcement.
Well, that's a great question. The reason why is because currently TikTok has some very, very strict uh, guidelines that basically say that you can't show any skin or you can't use certain language. And occasionally, if I'm live streaming my life, I use language or I may show skin, and so I can get a channel ban. But if I have 1,000 of them, well then that's no big deal. Go ban me from one of them. I got another one to use. And so it allows me to get my message out. I have more freedom than anybody. So basically, I was like, fuck you, TikTok. I'm gonna make all these accounts. I'm a rabbi, yes. They're all viralrabbi.com if you want to find them. They're all viralrabbi.com. Viralrabbi.com, 1 through 1,000, are my channels. If you ever want to look them up on TikTok. Yeah. No, I'm not a Chabad Luba. That's in Chabad. I'm not Chabad. 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 It is a stream of Orthodox. It's a stream of Orthodoxy that is very conservative, that is unique to. It's a rabbinical dynasty, really, going back to the Lubavitch and dynasty of the 17th century, 1700s, I should say. I don't particularly. I've been to those. I just haven't been to that particular one. And answer your question, really, but I do know people who went there. Yeah, exactly. So not everyone who wears a black hat Orthodox is uh, what you would call what you're thinking. At least that was at that, which is Chabad. So Chabad is one of them. There are others as well. There's the Satmars, there's the Breast Lovers. There are other rabbinical dynasties as well. Those are basically, if you want to look at them, they're like big families. And while I've been member of Chabad in Sherman Oaks, California, which is in Los Angeles, as of right now, I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. This is a global project, but I can tell you that before I went to doing this 666 straight days, I was in shul daily at 6:30 a.m. at synagogue for 666 straight days. And then the pandemic hit. So I went to shul in Irvine, and not a Chabad, but in an Orthodox synagogue. So very similar. And so, but my rabbi didn't go to that in front. Why? Because he's not a Lubavitcher. He's not a Chabad. But he doesn't belong to Chabad. But that is an event. We have our own event, and I have been a Chabad event like that in Los Angeles, but just not here. That's a different one. But the one I was at here is called the Kish, which is like a huge party. It's a lot of fun. Anyway, here I went to shul 666 straight times, and it was a global record. And then the pandemic hit, and no one could go to shul anymore, and basically had to just do it from home or praying from home. And I started streaming my life doing that, and that's kind of how we got into this. In addition to some other ways, but I started streaming my life because of the pandemic. We couldn't go to synagogue, and I missed the connection with people. Ask me anything you want. My life is an open book. My ATM password is 6308. Okay. You know what petroleum is, right? That's a very big commodity to the world. Data is a more important commodity. Data. So let's talk about that. Right now, people are allowed to upload and download as much as they want to the internet, basically unabridged or unadulterated. So I can upload to 5 different streams on YouTube. In the future, you're not going to be able to do that. Everybody is going to have one account, and it's going to be tied to their like social security or their driver's license, basically. And you'll need an ID, like an internet license. Like in the UK, you need in order to watch television or like get television, you need a license, a television license. And in the same way, you'll need something similar perhaps in the future to be on the internet. So here, I'll be sitting on this stage. this gold mine, this huge pile of data where nobody else has had the ability to just, for years and years, put themselves out on the internet like this. It's going to be very interesting to the world and how people's hair grows, on how people age, how people lose weight, how people gain weight, how people's sleep patterns, all kinds of things. And imagine, it's a really interesting story. It's basically 2 years of someone trying to get big, and then eventually they do, and then it's all the back behind the scenes footage that you would have gotten now that they're big. But this is before they got big. It's too much for one individual, but you'll see in the future, editors will be very good so that you'll be able to just have YouTube edit your clips so that it only has the parts where you're talking, the interesting parts, if you understand what I'm saying. TikTok already has that with CapCut. It already goes to the most interesting parts of your video and highlights them. YouTube will have that in probably in the next year or so. Great question. It may have already occurred, and we may be in the next epic, quite honestly. That potentially may be what occurs. Really, it's currently in our calendar 5783, and we think that something will happen before the year 16,000. So maybe in the next 250 years. Now, do we think the end of the world? No, we'll continue. It's just a new epic, basically. But some people may say that that has already happened. And what does that mean? That means we're in a new world where you can upload your brain into a machine. Now, I know you don't like to talk about this stuff, Lee, but we as rabbis and Jews like to talk about the future. And because we don't believe in a heaven, we believe in the world to come. And what's the world to come? It could be someone comes along with a certain amount of technology and allows you to upload your brain into a machine. And then what happens? Well, then you're able to essentially live your life as a clone in different ways if you want. You can live your life in an avatar. You can live your life in a clone of yourself. You can live your life in a cyborg or a cybernetic being. You're absolutely right. Most rabbis just talk about Torah, and it's boring. People want a rabbi to talk about the future. Listen, I listen to rabbis all day long, and they talk about the same stuff. And they talk about when Mashiach comes or the world to come happens, maybe that's when we'll have these discussions. Well, I'm someone who has the ability now to have these futuristic discussions, and I'm someone who has a plan to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. And I don't know why people aren't having these discussions. It's kind of like we sit around and talk about it, but we don't actually want to do it. And I want to put plans together to do it. Great question. The Al Aqsa Mosque, there's a mosque currently on the site. Exactly. So we have to move it in a nice way. Well, I honestly think that they've been really rude and mean to Muslim people in that area. And so I would say that they go into it with the wrong attitude. They're very aggressive, and they shouldn't be. They should say, look, and it's really, what is it? The Muslim people there. Can I ask you a question, Pete? Muslim people before Muhammad, they they tie themselves. You tie yourself back to Abraham, but to Ishmael, correct? Exactly. And so we have a common ancestor. So basically, what I'm trying to say is before Islam was a thing, like in the 600s, whenever it was, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think anybody is, but because there's something called the phantom conscious theory. And, they're whenever Muhammad was, before Muhammad, his generations before him went back to the Bible and went back to uh, Ishmael. And that's Abraham's son. And we have, so when we look at the people as Jews, we look at the people who are Muslims, they're our brothers. We should not see it as anything differently than that. And perhaps give them, if they want, an opportunity, if they want, to be Jewish or to be Israeli citizens as well, and make a process of that, maybe over the course of 20 years, to ease tensions there. I'm saying that they're very aggressive there, and that isn't necessarily what they want to do. But perhaps what they want to do, what they really want to do, is kick everybody out and take the land. Yeah, definitely. The Lion of Israel. Agreed. Agreed. It was too aggressive. It would cause an international incident. Yes. I don't think. Yeah. I think everyone's scared of Israel. So even though the United States is considered an ally of Israel, everyone's scared of Israel. Why? Yeah, I mean that's the plan. But I want to do it in a diplomatic way, and I think Netanyahu wants to do it in a somewhat diplomatic way as well, or else he would have attacked the Temple Mount by now. I mean, we're looking at a flash in the pan of history. If you look at history as a timeline, it's just a few years. Israel's only been a country for 75 years. No, I mean, here's what is going to happen. If you ask Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, as I just said, especially their royal families, are of the same bloodline as the top two fly because they all have the same mitochondrial matrilineal DNA. And at the end of the day, Israel is just going to absorb those, and they're going to want to be absorbed into Israel as well. It's a really great country. And so basically the Saudi royal family, the Kuwaitis, the, uh, the United Arab Emirates, and Israel will eventually be kind of become the same country. And then Israel will expand north, eventually through Armenia and such into Russia, where many Israelis have family anyway. Many Israelis, most Israelis are Russian anyway, and then from there expand into perhaps a global, uh, one global country. That's the plan. So if you think Israel's out to get you, it's not. It wants to absorb you. It wants to make you a part of the family. And that can change. All I have to do all it has to do is get a passing of legislation. Somebody has to get in with the Kuwaiti royal family and just be like, hey, let's drop that law, and we want to make you a part of our family. We want to bring in Islamic traditions into Judaism. We want to bring in Kuwait into Israel. It will be very, very positive when it comes to an economic opportunity. These are smart Jewish ideas. I was born in 1985. You can see my driver's license on my Twitter profile. So if you want to know anything about me, you got my address there. Because I have no fear. I have no fear. You can come to my house and beat me up if you want.
Especially like every time you drive home, you're like, I'm just always cancel all of these because I never use them. And then you have dinner, you have a beer, and then you're off to work the next day. You do good. I definitely went in as far as which ones I watch early and which are most likely to people. Usually probably the top of that list. I'm not really going to pick you guys. Unless there's a student.
That's all. That's all. But that's all anybody is until they run for election. I'm also undefeated in every election. I'm more than just a rabbi. I'm a software engineer. I'm a certified project management professional. I'm a big data engineer. I have certifications with Amazon and big data. So, I mean, I have a lot of interests. It's not just, that, but I do want you to know I'm a well-rounded person. So if anybody's going to perhaps help to bring global peace and bring these big global projects, it's someone who's perhaps very well versed in a lot of different fields. Uh, Religiously. So what does that mean? I can speak it from a religious standpoint, but not in Israel. I can do it in a synagogue. Yeah, because he knows that the person who's going to change the world is the person who's going to be the person to talk about world peace, rebuilding the Beit HaMikdash, rebuilding the temple in Jerusalem, and having really big ideas. There's something that um, someone with these kind of ideas has to talk about, and that's the visitation of the dead. And that's bringing back people who were once dead back to life. That's a Jewish idea, and it's something that I want to do. So what does that mean? That means there's a machine out there that you can make where you put your DNA in it, or you put your dead parents' DNA, or grandparents, or great grandparents, whatever person you want to bring back to life, you can put their DNA in it and basically photograph or video, recreate their brain, and have your own hybrid version of that person and bring them back to life. Yeah. So they basically, no, that's called mind uploading. It's a type of technology that currently exists. Here, I'll teach you about it because there are companies currently where you can give them money and they will upload your brain. Mind uploading is a process of whole brain emulation in which a brain scan is used to completely emulate the mental state of the individual in a digital computer. The computer would then run a simulation of the brain's informative processing such that it would respond in essentially the same way as the original brain and experience having a sentient conscious mind. Tell it to me. I'd love to hear it from you. I want to hear you tell it to me. No.